Morning. Couldn't wait. Jim Adkins here from Jim Adkins Life, professional coaching services, and 26 Moves self-defense systems. Oh, it's a lot of stuff going on, huh? One of these days I'll get it all narrowed down to one thing. No, I won't. It's day 4 of our workshop, our 6-day workshop on rituals. And I did start a little early. I've got a black belt candidate coming in this morning. So today he hit the ground running, and I just need to get moving. So I hope you don't mind. If you're on here with me, try to live chat. My wife said she couldn't make it work the other day. I'm not sure if it's individual or if it's something I'm doing, but if you can say hi or something while you're on here, let me know. And if you're watching it later, I guess I'll see them later, but I'll see them right now. So day 4, let's look back at days 1 through 3. Excuse me. So am I. Day 1 was defining what a ritual was. We looked at that. And day 2 was actually trying to choose and listen to the rituals of other people. You heard some of Arnold's rituals. You heard some of Branson's rituals, Will Smith. All those people have pretty much similar rituals in common. And I went ahead and let the cat out of the bag yesterday, our last class on the 3rd day. And that was the things they have in common are getting up early. And win the morning, win the day is pretty much a common theme with everybody. So to elaborate on that, if you get up early, and I'm hearing, 5 o'clock, 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., and even like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, I think he gets up at 4, and he's working out by 4:30, his first workout. So there are, get up early. And the more research I do on getting up early, just like anything, you can find a lot of research in both directions. Philosophically, scientifically speaking, you can find benefits to it and people that naysay it. I'm the one that looks for the benefits. If you look for the negative, you're going to find it in anything, right? So that's one of my habits, not really a ritual, but it's just part of my being to look for the good. All right, so we talked about getting up early, getting up on time, getting up with purpose. What we discussed, I believe it was last class, was also how do you set a purpose for the morning? Well, it's better to set it the night before. And I'm explaining, at the end of the day, generally speaking, your decision-making skills and your willingness to make more decisions kind of wanes. As the day goes on, you've made so many decisions. By the time the night comes, most of us feel like we just want to not make any more decisions, right? Right, Sarah? So at times, the decisions we make in the evening may or may not serve us so well, or may not be focused. I find the opposite to be true most times. At the end of the day, I know, and this is one of my rituals, I consider it a morning ritual, but it's done usually the night before. I have a clipboard next to me all the time. And you can use a computer or whatever it is. I like to write things down. And I will clear my to-do list from the day. Look at what I've accomplished throughout the day, what needs to be done tomorrow, and prioritize that. And if there's something more important that comes up tomorrow first, some of the things on yesterday's list may get moved to the bottom because they may be simple things that I can push to the end of the day. As I do that, I clear in my mind when I wake up, this is what's happening tomorrow. And when you have visualizations and incantations, when you tell yourself things, I will accomplish this, I'm going to accomplish this, and then you visualize what the day is going to look like as you go forward the night before, you'll find yourself dreaming about it. And when you wake up in the morning, you're ready to go. You're ready to hit the ground running. One of the rituals that you put in between those two things, a couple of rituals, I guess. One, when you wake up for purpose, don't just jump right out of bed. Spend a moment with yourself. Remember your dreams, write them down if you can, and then show gratitude for some wonderful things. And you can pick I've heard, do 10, I've heard do 3. The number is arbitrary, but pick a number. Don't just say, okay, this morning I'm going to do 2, because that's a decision you don't have to make. Make a ritual that is consistent. Every morning, I'm going to say 3 things that I'm grateful for. Pick that number, stick with it. Make sense? Make it easy, make it a ritual, make it a routine. It becomes a habit. Make it easy. If it can be measured and monitored, it can be mastered. Okay? Do it. Good. All right. So those are the rituals that most people have in common. Getting up early, starting the day on time, win the morning, win the day by making your bed, something simple like that, right? Another one that they have in common, and I mentioned this to you guys, is they do something for themselves. So every morning they do something to invigorate their body, or they do something to stimulate their mind. Reading, listening to a podcast that's beneficial, okay? Listening to music that lifts you up. Whatever it is that gets you moving and makes you feel good. Okay, that's something that most, I'm going to say 90% of the people that I've interviewed, listened to, and researched do in the morning as a ritual. Did you catch it? Do something that invigorates yourself. Most of the time that includes, but is not limited to, exercise. So exercising in the morning is a great way to start your day. If, like me, on certain mornings, I don't exercise first thing while I'm making breakfast, and this was in the past, because I'll tell you right now, my life is starting to pick up momentum again. I used to do 300 sit-ups as I made breakfast and listened to the podcast and took care of the animals and things like that. Now in the mornings, I'm preparing my podcast. I might be listening to music, or I'll listen to other people or information that I'm learning about through a different podcast or a YouTube channel or reports. Tony Robbins, I've got his CDs, tapes, and cassettes from way back. So that's what I'm doing in the morning now. So I've missed the 300 push-ups in the morning for the last week. I'm okay with that because I always get my workouts in. This morning, I wake up at 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Why I said it that way is it's getting earlier. Normally it was 5:30. This morning it was 4:30. And I can do it. Just wake up. I don't need an alarm anymore. So that's an interesting thing. And it gives me that much more time to do things. All right. So they work out, they invigorate themselves, they start the day with purpose, they move forward. And I wrote a couple other things down that I really, really like that I'm going to start doing. And I'll share these with you. Yes, the last class, though, in day 3, what I asked you to do was pick 2. Okay, so the last 3 days, I've asked you to pick 2 of your most important rituals. Gratitude was not one of them. That's a given. You're going to use gratitude. I know that. So 2 on top of that. It could be make your bed if you wanted to, but come on, that's a simple one, too. Give me something else. Then I came across some research, and I found it very important to share, and that's today's topic. But before we get into today's topic, I want to share with you a new ritual that I have added. I do it throughout the day, but I never thought about putting it on my to-do list. And I'm not kidding. When I carry a clipboard around everywhere I go, and I write things down. Schedule your list. I do it sometimes, right? If I have appointments or have people coming in, they go down at a time. I always schedule my workout. I always know when I'm coming back to the dojo. I have a calendar. But little things like if you're going to wake up and make breakfast, do the dishes, you're going to go shopping today, whatever it is, put a time limit on it, just like a goal. I'm going to have this done. When I get to work, I'm going to spend 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. working on the website or working on a new podcast or working on a new song or working on a new idea or offering up a new bid, or I'm going to sell 10 things today and make $1,000 commission today. Whatever it is that you want to do, schedule it by noon. 6 to 9 a.m. I remember as a stockbroker, I would get in, and they used to tell us when I was a financial consultant, just starting out, you're going to sit down, you're going to dial the phone, and they used to tell me you're going to make 300 dials a day. 300 dials a day, calling people and asking them if you could manage their money, right? Fine. And I thought, wow, 300 dials a day. Well, if you do the numbers and you do 10 minutes a dial and you start doing stuff like that, it adds up. But when it became a ritual And I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to make those 300 dials by 1 o'clock. That 1 o'clock time frame said I needed to start at a certain time to make those 300 dials. And if I didn't make those 300 dials, it was because I was connecting to people and I was making pre-sales calls or sales. Right? Good morning, Mr. Murray. So the ritual with a time limit gave me a perspective that was real. Okay. And in that real perspective, it allowed me to really set a good schedule. I wrote something down about being real that I wanted to share with you yesterday, and I didn't. So what we're talking about right now is we're talking about scheduling something I'm going to do. Schedule your morning goals. Okay. So we've got a new ritual for me. Here's something I just want to throw out there in the middle of nothing. Being realistic is the most common road to mediocrity. Being realistic is the most common road to mediocrity. Oh, come on, let's be real. Why? Let's be extravagantly delusional and happy. Let's be abundantly optimistic, right? Anyway, wanted to share that with you. Okay, going forward with our rituals. Wake up early, affirmations, visualizations, gratefulness, schedule your day, do something to energize yourself, make a to-do list, keep yourself accountable. I do that the night before, okay? Here's one that I found interesting. And if you're a parent, or if you have a significant other, a life partner, whatever it is, even a roommate, this might freak out your roommate, though. I don't know how close you are. Show affection and bond with somebody early. Morning, Cindy. Bond with somebody early. What that means is give a hug, or better, first thing in the morning. And this morning, well, like every morning, I roll over and hug and kiss my wife, and I make sure I'm in there to say goodbye and so on and so forth. But, more bond with somebody early. And the science behind it, and I hate to use the science, but why not, is that dopamine, or that invigoration of the connection, not just physically, but emotionally, does something for you, right? So there's a habit that could serve you. I like that one. Okay. So, and let me touch on this, and I'll do this in another workshop, but some people are auditory when it comes to love. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. Love and connection. It could be your kids. It could be, your roommate. It could be your significant other, your spouse, whatever it is, a physical connection. Okay. Some people are visual. Okay. Some people are auditory, and some people are kinesthetic. What that means is, and if you know this about your partner or the people that you're around, it helps. And if you know this about yourself, it helps too. And like I said, I'll touch on this more later. Auditory, just to make sure. Visual and kinesthetic. If your partner is visual, showing them love means just that. Showing them love. How do they know that you love them? I'll touch on it later. I don't want to go into too much detail, but you need to know that. Kinesthetic, love touching. Auditory, they want to hear it. So when you make this connection early and this bond early, don't forget that if a physical connection does wonderful things, on top of that, to anchor their true love, there's going to be one more detail, visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, that person will take and keep forever. All right, because that's a good one. Somebody mentioned to clean up from the night before as a morning ritual. Get up and clean the mess you made last night. I'm a believer in the opposite, but their reasoning was, at night, you don't want to clean. You're tired. You want to, but you know what? I love waking up to a clean house. Starting my day with no clutter, or starting my day not having to correct the mess of yesterday, seems to be a very successful way to move through life. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know. If you don't, let me know. Let's talk about this. And then number 9 that they came across, silence. Awkward pause, right? Being silent with yourself is important. As you can guess, I'm pretty boisterous. I can be very quiet. Quiet moments for me are extremely important. I don't need quiet to focus. I raised 7 kids and I grew up in a house of 9 people. I teach thousands of children. I can focus on way more than one thing at a time while tons of things are going on around me and benefit and pay attention to most of the things that are happening around me. But I'm a freak, right? Who loves silence. And I'll tell you what, I don't get enough of it. My wife loves to take a walk in the backyard, and I have not made enough time to do that recently. I'm in full gear here with our businesses that you have to push and pull when you're working on a new business to get the momentum moving, and it's the hard work that makes it worth it in the end. So right now, I think I will focus on at least one day, Friday, which is our dance day. Maybe we'll dance in the backyard before the weather gets too bad. So quiet, be quiet. Richard Murray says, I hate to clean or fix a mess problem from yesterday or the past. I think what he's saying is he agrees, and that he doesn't want to mess it up. And there's something to be said for completion of a project. Dr. Phil, if you guys know who Dr. Phil is, was quoted as saying, and I believe, I can't remember who was it that asked him, but it was a friendly conversation. They were talking on the back nine of a golf course, and his friend asked him, if you could categorize or say the one issue with today's youth, what would it be? And this was within the last 5 years, okay? So if you could kind of pin one of the main issues with today's youth, and youth, you're talking about 9 to 15, 9 to 16 years old, what would it be? And Dr. Phil, without hesitation, stopped and said, completion of a project. So 99% of the youth today don't know what it means to complete a project, even to failure. They give up too soon, and they rely on the fact that it's easy to walk away. And some parents are guilty of allowing that. And as a martial arts instructor, I see it all the time. The kids want to quit when things get rough, and the parents give up on it. Well, that's not how things work. And Dr. Phil was mentioning that. You see it through. Listen, my boy's the same way. He's a genius, but that boy, I have a hard time getting him to finish anything. Is it my responsibility? Not necessarily, but I believe part of it could be the drive that I show him to finish a project. When he completes it, and I'm waiting for this day to happen, as he completes a project, he's going to feel so much pride and so much success and so much momentum that the next few years of his life, he's going to be unstoppable. And I can't wait for that day. He's got a motorcycle right now in the garage. It's this close. Come on, Jimmy, pull it together, fix it, and get that sucker out of here. And then everything else will start to bloom. I know it will. He's a great kid. He's smart, but Dr. Phil was right. When I look at kids in here, reaching that goal to completion is a tough one. So if you make a mess, you don't walk away without cleaning it up, right? I'm sorry, I'm ranting about cleaning up the night before, but trust me, I've seen plenty of kids step over things in the house that are dirty, that need to be picked up and cleaned, as if to say, this is not my job. Somebody else in the house will pick it up and clean it, even if they put it there. Dishes magically clean themselves when you stick them on the counter. No, they don't, right? Finish the job. All right, sorry about my rant, but here we go. Clean it up the night before, wake up, start your day fresh. I love that idea better. Rituals that do not serve you. Now we're 20 minutes in, and we're finally on topic today. Rituals that do not serve you. As you look for rituals and habits in the morning for things to do that are welcoming, that are nourishing, that are invigorating, that inspire you, here's some things I wrote down that I was thinking of. This is just my opinion. You can bitch at me if you want to, but I'm going to throw them at you. Things that I believe would not serve me and do not serve me as a ritual. I've gotten rid of a few of them in my past. Here they come. Rituals that do not serve you. Maybe. Most likely. Too many things or too many distractions. When you wake up in the morning and you have a list of 80 things to do, don't immediately review the list. You did that the night before. You know what's on there. If you get up and you want to be grateful and you want to make your bed, these are simple steps. There's not a lot of things to do. You want to do your push-ups, your sit-ups, your jumping jacks. You want to get downstairs, get on the elliptical, whatever it is, that meditation time. You want to learn something. You're going to make breakfast. That's enough, but pretty much can be autopilot and serve you. But if you look at that list of 80 things, how many of those 6 things are you actually going to get to? You may start worrying about, I got to go. As I say that, I realize today, look, I'm early, but I have a student coming in, and that appointment is important. So if you look at too many things and you have too many distractions, the chance of you following through on the positive rituals will be out the window. Make sense? So watch yourself about that. Number 2, if you have kids and they are your priority in the morning, make sure you wake up before them. Had a conversation with one of my students, and we have some great conversations, Doc. And he was talking about, he's got 2 children. He has to run to 2 different schools. One's a high school, one's an elementary school. When school started, he thought he could start his day a little earlier. What he found was he had to leave his house earlier to get in line at the school to drop off one kid, then make it over to the other school in time for the other child, and then get himself to work. And waking up a little bit early didn't cut it. Now, he has other resources, which means his wife could actually step in and help out. If that actually takes place, it'll be interesting and awesome to find out. But if that's you, and let's say you're a single parent, I was there for a while, my wife was there for a while, and it's our total responsibility to take care of everything. My kids stepped up, but I would get up extra early, or the night before, I would make sure that all breakfast stuff was ready, set out, or they knew where it was. The clothes were clean. They were ready to go. Their homework was done. We used to have a little fun ritual when they were little kids of setting their clothes on the foot of their bed that they were going to wear the next day. So when they woke up, they didn't have to think about it. Now they're women, they're young ladies, they're girls. So that changed as they got a little older, right? And they're throwing their stuff everywhere. But you understand what I'm saying? We preset that. And if you have kids, it's best, I believe, to wake up an hour before they do. Come on, I know they tire you out. I know things are rough, but that's what being a parent is, right? And you need to make time for yourself. Put the oxygen mask on you first so that you can take care of everybody else. Get your rituals in. Then that you can enjoy bonding with your kids. Have a little food fight, feed them cake and blame it on mom. Dad is great. Feed us a chocolate cake. It's got eggs and milk in it, right? All right. Rituals that do not serve you. Smoking. I'm not going to harp on you on your personal habits. Yes, I am. If you get up and smoke a cigarette, is that helpful, beneficial, and inspiring? You tell me. I'm going to say no. That's because I've never been a smoker. It's easy for me to do that, right? But you know it isn't. And I'm not bashing the tobacco companies. Bless their heart, they're making a profit. But it doesn't serve you. It really doesn't. Come on now. If you want to quit, you can quit. Is that being a quitter? No, come on now. It's silly. But I know, like my father and my stepdad, Rod, he used to tell me he smoked from the time he was 3 years old and he's never going to stop. And they give you things like George Burns smoked till he was 100 years old, right? Or whatever it was. And he's still living. He was still fine, but now he's dead. Bless his heart. But it really doesn't serve you. So can you let that go? That might be one of your goals. I don't know. I can help you with it if it is, because I know how to help you let go of addictions like that. I really do. But you have to want to do it. All right. So how about eating first thing in the morning? What you eat could be, as a ritual, could be not serving you. You get up and the first thing you do is you drink a ton of caffeine. Now, I know caffeine's not that bad, but if you drink a lot of it, it's not good for you, right? It doesn't really serve you. If you eat chocolate or if you throw bad stuff in your mouth, there's pizza on the counter from last night, which there shouldn't be. You get up, you eat pizza for breakfast. Unless you're in college, you don't need to be doing that, right? So that could be a ritual that doesn't serve you. Sitting. Let's say you wake up and you plant your butt on the couch. That ritual may not serve you. Are you following me so far? Let's get moving on some other ones. Here's some that I let go of. You get up in the morning and you watch the news first thing. I used to just get up and turn the news on. One, I wanted to see the weather. And in Michigan, that's a pretty big thing in the wintertime, especially if you've got kids in their school or if you run your program based on school, right? So you turn the news on, you watch for school closings, you watch the weather. And in the middle of all of that is the other talking heads stuff. And bless their heart, they have a job to do and they read the scripts that are handed to them. And it didn't serve me. It would aggravate instead of invigorate. It would frustrate instead of inspire. So I quit it. Now, I try to stay current on things that are happening around me because I am active in the community and I am an active voter. And there are certain things, inalienable rights that will not be infringed or go in passing, but I don't allow that to consume me. That was one that I let go of. How about chores that aggravate? Pets. If you got pets and they make a mess, and they do, and they smell, and you wake up and get frustrated because you have to pick up after them or clean up after them because they made a mess the night before. Don't start your day like that. Schedule and plan to get it taken care of course, but and even split the chores or responsibilities with others in your house if that's possible. But that's negative feeling toward the chores needs to be reframed before it can be a positive morning ritual, right? I let mine out in the morning and have fun with them. My dog is deaf, so getting him back in can or could be a frustrating thing, but really it's not. I understand now. I don't want people yelling at me when I can't hear anymore. Well, sorry. I guess you have to, don't you? How about policing others? Here's one more. Don't wake up in the morning and listen to me tell you what to do. I'm sorry, I'll use my presidential thumb. Don't let me tell you what to do, but try not to police others. And what that means is if you wake up in the morning and you start looking at what other people have not done and still need to do, and then you take it upon yourself to tell them, go wake them up, call them, whatever it is, and immediately, hey, you didn't do this, you need to do this, make sure you do this. Policing other people that are supposed to take care of themselves or responsibilities. I'll give you one that's going to happen this morning if it hasn't already happened. It's trash day in our neighborhood, and my son's responsibility is to take out the garbage on this day early enough so that they can pick up the recycling. First thing this morning, my wife is going to remind him. Hopefully it's not first thing, Sarah, I wish you would stop it because he eventually needs to do it himself. And if he doesn't do it, we'll take care of it. So don't police others. It's not your responsibility. It's not your job to do that. If you have younger kids and they were supposed to do something, you can ask, do you have your homework? Did you get your backpack together? Do you have the paper I signed for school? Is today a lunch day for you? Is today, those are not police questions. Those are here's how you maintain your responsibilities. And that can be done the night before too, right? And you can make those fun. Don't make them hassles. So those are rituals that don't serve you. Does that make sense? How about these three right here? Telephone calls, text messages, Facebook. YouTube's okay. This is a podcast. It's different. Don't get wrapped up in drama is what I'm saying. Don't immediately wake up, pick up your phone, start looking at texts from the night before or this morning or seeing what Johnny's doing to Betty and Betty did to Bill. And what about husbands that can't get their butt in gear? I can help. I can't come over and kick him in the butt anymore. You guys aren't close, Cindy, but I can help with that. So don't look at the text messages right away. It'll wait. Take care of yourself first. Don't pick up your phone and return phone calls or listen to voicemails. It can wait. Don't get on Facebook and start looking at Facebook drama. It can wait. Even some of the morning radio shows, um, that like to spin things in a controversial, negative way. I started avoiding them, and some of them are friends, but you avoid them because it's just not what you want in your garden, right? Um, so that's one. Now, when you listen to podcasts, and I go on Facebook because I like the camaraderie, I like the connection. I don't spend time with the drama. I don't spend time with trolls or anything like that. I ignore all that. I use it for connecting with friends. It's an incredible tool. This YouTube has been an incredible tool. There's different ways to use it. And I think the reticular activating system kicks in when you want to use it for the right reasons. It's there. TV, same thing. Don't put on a soap opera or something like that. Okay. Oh, Johnny, whatever. If you consider that your downtime, do it later. Okay. Don't start your day that way. So today, the second part of the title, it's time to clean house. As you look at your rituals, look at the ones that you are already doing that you may not be paying attention to. And if they don't serve you anymore, let them go. Okay? Clean house. I know, Mr. Huntley, last time I said this, you spent 5 days trying to figure out where all the stuff was going to go that you pulled out of your closet, your bedroom. But I love you guys. Be good. This is day 4. Tomorrow is Friday. I promise I will try to wait till 7 a.m. to come on. But we're going to be wrapping it up. So Friday and Saturday, last 2 days of this workshop. I love you guys, and I hope this is helpful. If you like these videos, hit the like button. Let me know you like them. If you don't, send me some feedback. Let me know what's happening there. I do use Facebook in the morning, but only to tell my children I love them. Yeah, see, my kids are all over the place too, Mr. Motley. I love that. Again, let me repeat this. If you like this video, hit the like button. The more likes I get, the better YouTube likes me, okay? And if you like, they like me too. If you think others would enjoy this, please share my channel with people. I want to try and build my audience so that we can do more things on here. And as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe for me. And I will see you in the future. We've got some fun things scheduled. I love you. On your mark, get set, go. Good morning, baby.